we'll explore how understanding context influences meaning, how references help us connect ideas, and how inferences allow us to draw conclusions beyond what's explicitly stated. So let's get started. In our last example, we looked at how context influences meaning. Now, let's dive deeper into what we mean by context. Basically, context refers to the words, sentences, and even the physical setting that surround any particular word or part of a sentence. These elements help us determine what a word really means in a given situation. There are different types of context, and one important type is linguistic context, also called cotext. This is the set of other words used in the same phrase or sentence. For example, take the phrase, "get to the bank to withdraw some cash." The meaning of bank depends heavily on the words around it. Are we talking about a financial institution or the side of a river? Another example is the phrase, steep or overgrown, which could describe a hill or a garden. The context helps us understand which meaning is intended. So, in essence, context acts like a guide, helping us interpret words accurately based on their surroundings. This idea ties into our overall theme of understanding language more deeply, recognizing that meaning isn't just in the words alone, but in how they fit into a larger picture. Now, let's consider the physical context, which is essentially about the location where these symbols or words are found. For example, if you see the word bank on the wall of a building in a city, it indicates a financial institution situated in an urban environment. This setting can influence how we interpret the word because it's directly linked to the function and purpose of that space. Similarly, when you see the word bank on a sign near a river, it might refer to a different kind of bank, perhaps the edge of a riverbank rather than a financial institution. The physical location provides crucial clues that help us understand the intended meaning accurately. This highlights how context is not just about the words themselves, but also about where and how they are presented. Recognizing these physical cues allows us to interpret language more precisely and connect it to the broader environment or theme we're exploring. When we talk about reference, we're referring to the act of using language to help someone understand what or who we're talking about. It's like giving a little pointer to guide their understanding. For example, if I say Jennifer or friend or she, these words can refer to many different people or entities in the world, depending on the context. It's a flexible tool that helps us avoid repeating names over and over. We can also use more casual expressions like the blue thing or that icky stuff to refer to objects or concepts that might be obvious in the context, but need a label for clarity. And interestingly, we can even invent names for things or people when nothing else exists. This ability to refer, whether with familiar names, descriptive phrases, or invented terms, is fundamental to how we communicate effectively. Understanding how reference works is crucial because it underpins how we link language to the real world, which ties back to the overall theme of how language functions in communication. It's all about making our messages clear and relatable, even when the references are broad or invented. So, an inference is really about the extra information that the listener uses to connect what we're saying with what we actually mean. It's not always explicitly stated, but it helps the listener fill in the gaps and understand the message better. You see, the way we communicate often depends more on the listener's ability to recognize what we mean than on just the words themselves. For example, when I say, "Can I look at your Chomsky?" I'm not just asking to see a book or a person named Chomsky. It's a way of making a point through inference. Or when we say, "We saw Shakespeare in London," it's understood that we're talking about a theatrical performance, not literally seeing William Shakespeare himself. These are classic cases of inference at work. They show how much we rely on shared knowledge and context to make sense of what's being communicated. So, in our overall understanding of language, recognizing these inferences is key because it allows us to grasp meaning beyond just the literal words.